straight up. Anybody can hear this in the background. My neighbors are totally fucking on the other side of this wall.
I can't hear nothing.
All right. I sat down and I started setting up the Zoom, and I'm like, the fuck? And sure
I'm
enough,
just trying to make sure all my dirty clothes is out of the picture and stuff. That's the one thing I noticed from the last one. I was like, shucks. Oh well, 25 Slaves of Christmas.
25 Sleighs of Christmas. And
Slay
12.
12.
It's like
12.
12. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wishes we flipped these two movies because
Yeah,
that last one was rough.
it really was.
25 Sleighs of Christmas, Sleigh 12 is a little known movie called Santa Jaws. This most definitely was not on the list to begin with.
No, I don't believe it was at all.
I just happened to stumble upon it on Hulu, and I believe it was actually premiering on TV. My parents have Hulu, like with live TV, and it was on there, and that's where I first saw it. So I looked into it. I looked up the trailer, and it looked ridiculous. It looked absolutely ridiculous. Everything you'd want out of something called Santa Jaws.
Right.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was actually incredibly surprised by this movie because it ended up being a lot more than what I expected out of a movie called Santa Jaws.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, here and there. It was a wild ride. I'll give it that. Very wild.
I actually really enjoyed it quite a bit, especially I think because it's obviously a low budget movie.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, compared to a lot of the low budget movies we've been watching, it's just nice to see people who know how to act in low budget movies, because everything about this movie is actually pretty decent. That opening scene, I'm thinking, okay, this is what we're getting ourselves into. Like
Right.
this corny acting, the bad CGI shark, all of it. I'm thinking, here's Santa Jaws, and then it does this little whoop, whoop, little shift on you, and I really dug the fact that this could have been dumb as fuck. This movie could have just been straight up dumb as fuck, and some people might still think it's dumb as fuck. But the fact that they kind of, it's from the kid's imagination, so all the rules of the shark and like why it's in existence and all that stuff, like because of a Christmas wish.
Right.
What was this kid's name?
Oh,
I don't even know.
Max.
Maybe it was something in Zach. Maybe it was Max. I don't know. We'll call it kid.
No, I think Cody.
Cody. It was Cody and Zach.
It's in his imagination.
Cody fucked up like Max fucked up in Krampus.
Yeah.
Christmas.
From Krampus.
And so I dug the fact that he had this he got this magic pen. Spoilers. He got magic pen, and he drew Santa Jaws, which is a comic book that he makes with his buddy. And honestly, I really thought all of the logic behind like the story of Santa Jaws, like I was fine with it. Like this, it feels like mystical, like a Christmas movie, like that mystical Christmas wish thing. And at the same time, like I said, all the rules of Santa Jaws and how Santa Jaws works and everything, I'm fine with it being corny and stupid. Like the fact that he's a fucking shark with a Santa hat on his fin for one, that's covered in Christmas lights for two. Like, of course, it's just filled with great shark/Christmas puns.
Yeah, I liked ho ho ho, you son of a fish.
Dude, hands down the greatest line in that movie. I love that in the trailer. That's what in the trailer I was like, oh, we're definitely watching this movie.
The only thing that I was every time I was laughing so hard at the effects they would use, like when the kids would like shoot a bow at them, like and the arrow would go out of the bow really fast, but when it would hit the shark fin, it would just be like somebody was off camera and lobbed it.
That's another thing with a lot of these like low budget movies that we've watched. They've been kind of like all over the place where like, we had Once Upon a Time at Christmas where it's like, it's a matter of tone. It's a matter of knowing what you are and owning what you are. Like Silent Night had an identity crisis and didn't know like what it was trying to be, but this movie knows exactly what it is and owns it. Like it's definitely a comedy, and like I said, I mean, for a movie called Shark Jaws, it's way better than one would think a movie called Shark Jaws even deserves to be.
No, it's my favorite kill in it, I would have to say, like by looks of things, was the little elf dude when he gets his legs cut off by the boat. You can clearly see that he's just running, and they just green screened him from like the knees up.
with his little stump legs.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not buying this at all, but I thought it was funny. It
It
was a
was.
funnier
It
movie.
was really funny. And actually, I shit you not, I think this movie actually had the one moment that scared me like more than any other movie. That very initial shark attack when he eats the grandpa, and I was just like, I jumped fucking sky high, dude. I didn't expect it to have it to go down that way. It was one of those things where like I knew it was coming, and
Right.
because of that, I got myself too like into it, and I scared the shit out of myself. But yeah, I dig that a lot. I liked the characters in it. I really liked some of the dialogue because again, I felt like the actors were able to handle it well. Like it was a movie that knew its tone. Like the actors knew what they were doing. Like and you know it was nice. It was a fun time.
It was pretty good.
The ending, as soon as I want to say as soon as the girl died, like as soon as the little neighbor girl that he's crushing on from across the street.
I have a really big problem with when she dies.
Well, so one, I thought she was the worst actress in this movie. Like I thought she was the worst of all the performers in this movie.
Yeah.
But when she died, I knew as soon as she like died, I was like, he's gonna bring them all back with the pin. I was like, he's
Yeah,
gonna
well,
try
yeah.
Styles, and then he's gonna bring them all back with the pin. As soon as she died, because in my head I was like, if she dies, he's gonna use the pin to bring them all back. Because
Yeah.
they kill her off.
No, I felt that too, but I just felt like she's sitting there swimming and they're like, come on, get on the dock, get on the dock. And they could clearly help her up and don't. And she dies like trying to get onto the dock. It's
Yeah.
like if you guys would have been there and grabbed her one arm apiece and pulled her up, she would have lived.
Yeah. But
So that,
at the end, you know, fuck it. Everybody got to live anyways.
yeah, I guess. And he had to introduce himself.
Yeah.
So
I had more on this movie that I wanted to say. Like, you know, I'm a big. I really like. I like shark movies. I dig a good shark movie.
yeah. Oh yeah.
The fact that there is like a movie that is a
Santa
shark
Jaws.
Christmas movie that is actually solid as both, I can dig it. You know, I don't mind a corny looking shark.
I just felt like that's what they were going for. They're like, yo, I want to make a like I felt like someone got an underwater like camera, you know, and they was like, yo, I want to make like a shark movie. And they're like, fuck, everybody's made a shark movie. What's a shark movie somebody hasn't? They're like Christmas.
I loved the angle, dude.
Bada boom.
You know, it could, like I said, it could have been dumb as fuck in the sense that there's just Santa Jaws. Like Santa Jaws just happens to be in this fucking town and is terrorizing the town. So now that would have been dumb.
Yeah.
Like, but I liked the comic book thing. I liked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just really liked.
And when him and his brother, they get the drawing and they're like, okay, let's draw a thing through its head, and then it just goes in there, and now he's got a big old spear.
Because this was one of those movies that was predictable in sort of a fun way, where like something would happen or somebody would say something, and I would be like doing something else while I was watching it, and like I'd hear it and just I would say the next line out loud, not even having not even seen this movie. I knew what was coming, and I would
Right.
say the next line out loud. And as soon as that happened, I was like, so he's got a horn now, and that was the first thing he says. He's like, well, so he's got a horn now. And then, the scene where the comic book store owner has the pin, and he's like, "I'm just gonna go to the back and get that for you." And
Oh yeah.
and they're all standing there, and and there's that just like gap time where he's left, and they're just standing there waiting. That's again, I just said out loud, "Yeah, I don't think he's coming back." And verbatim, the kid goes, "Yeah, I don't think he's coming back." Exactly like that. I was like, this movie, it definitely had its comedic beats down pretty well.
Oh yeah, you could tell he had the pin the second they walked in there. I'm like, okay, where'd this girl come from?
Who's this girl? Who's this chick? Yeah, yeah, man, I had a good time. I feel like it was a movie that had a lot of heart in it, like from the people who made it and stuff. And yeah, it was a trip. I mean, it was a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Out of all these movies we watched, we've definitely watched worse ones. Looking at you, Jack Frost.
Definitely a total 180 from the next one. So Santa Jaws for me, I am gonna go with a 7.
7.
7 out of 10. I had a good time with it.
I was gonna give this 6.5. Like same. I had a good time with it. Only because it's the more cheesier side of graphic wise, and it looks like, you know, a bunch of people, you know, regular people probably just decided, fuck it, let's make this movie. But I mean, like you said, I think they did put a lot into it. I think it deserves more credit than you would give it on the surface.
It's one I'd put on the list again. I'd watch it next Christmas.
Oh yeah, if I had to sit down and watch a movie with somebody, Santa Jaws would probably definitely be the one.
Definitely, I would definitely. It'd be one that I pull out on unexpected guests for sure.
Definitely. So that's one a recommendation.
And I will say, like, to the movie's credit, it's so good in its other aspects that like the bad CGI shark is not a detriment to it. Like, it does not take away from this movie. It just kind of leans into it. It owns it. It does not stop this movie from being what it wants to be. Like the poor.
And the shark even has red and green teeth.
Yeah,
I mean,
when they get rid of his teeth and the shark just knocks over a thing of Christmas ornaments and chomps them up and uses those as teeth. Yeah, right before they put the horn in them too. Yeah, I dug it. I dug it. And as far as where to find it, like I said, if you got like Hulu with like live TV, you could probably find it there. But
on YouTube.
I watched it on YouTube, and like, you know, I go back and forth on whether we should like tell people like, yeah, you can go watch it on YouTube for free. But this seems like one that like the people themselves put on YouTube, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because it even had like a graphic warning before you could watch it that it's not on any other movie things I've seen. So I had to click like yes.
Well, then yeah, I definitely YouTube. Watch it for free.
Check that ish out.
Check that fish out.
You son of a fish.